I legit had to replay the final 3 seconds of this episode, like, at the very least 10 plus times. And the reason for that was because of Bacchus' squirrel. Oh my god, that stuff had me dying, like that had me dying, just seeing Bacchus, he's just sitting there, he's just creeping over to Muguro, and Nina's in the bed as well, like, he's being very stealthy and all that, and then all of a sudden he gets over, he's trying to move the hair a little bit around on Muguro, and then all of a sudden Nina wakes up, and his face, it just starts sweating. Like, the man in the face, he just starts sweating uncontrollably. He's like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden she kicks him, and then he sees the other eye, the eye color, and then just the squill at the end. I'm like, oh my god, like that was so perfect. Just hearing this character, Bacchus, that's always serious, and he also drinks a lot, just doing that type of squill. I'm like, that legit had me dying. I was just laughing my ass off the entire time while replaying that scene. That was just too good. That was way too good of a scene, and I think we can all agree how funny that was. But, besides that, though, this episode was a very relaxing episode, and even though it was relaxing, it didn't have a lot of action compared to the previous episodes, it still was a very good episode. It didn't need action to drive its episode and make it, you know, really good. It actually managed to have a decent episode, even with slice-of-life moments and seeing, you know, the characters just talking with each other. For instance, Muguro, well, Muguro can't really talk, but, you know, seeing Nina talk to Muguro hanging out with her, it was a very enjoyable experience. And also seeing Bacchus as well, getting to see a little bit more characterization from him, and also how he feels about not really wanting to go back and all that to the land of the gods, and how he just wants to stay where he's at right now, to also towards the end when we had the little thing with, you know, Muguro and Bacchus, and then the other stuff with Azazel and how he's setting up for, like, his endgame. I mean, majority of the episode was just mainly talking, and that's basically what it was about, which is a really good thing because it shows that the series doesn't need action to have a decent episode. But before I begin, I need to ask a quick question, and also it's just more of confusion at that. I am absolutely shocked right now that Muguro is apparently a girl. Now, this could be a joke. I remember it was stated that Muguro was apparently a boy in the, you know, previous episodes. But apparently from Nina, she's like, oh, you're cute in that outfit, you know, you're a really good girl and all that. And I'm like, wait, wasn't Muguro confirmed to be a dude, but now Muguro is a girl? I'm like, what? Like, am I missing something? Like, does Nina know something I'm unaware of? Because I was like, I could have sworn Muguro was a boy. But then we see that, and I'm like, have I been wrong? Or is this some form of joke? I mean, I could see it being a joke. I could, because of the context behind it. I mean, think about it. Muguro can't speak. And so obviously, even if Muguro was a boy, he can't say he was a boy because he can't speak in the first place. So, you know, he can't correct Nina for being wrong. And we don't really know if girl or boy. We have no idea. So I'm like, it might be a joke because of what type of character Nina is, how she's not that bright overall, that it might lead into some form of joke. For instance, you know, Muguro actually being a girl, he looks very beautiful, and the reason why is because, you know, angel. We know a lot of angels in mythology and all that. They look very beautiful. Even if they're a guy, they look very feminine. And so that's probably what's going on here. And I'm assuming this is going to lead into a joke in the upcoming episodes because of how Nina made this confusion. Regardless, though, we had some development taking place for Kaiser in this episode, and before the development really showed, we had a convo between him and Rita. And this Rita scene with Kaiser was probably one of the best moments of the episode, besides the Bacchus stuff. Like, Bacchus just being absolutely funny towards the end, probably one of the best moments of the episode clearly was the Kaiser and Rita scene, because these two characters, they've been around since, you know, the first season of Shingeki no Bahamut, and also, I really like Rita as a character, and I really like Kaiser as a character, even though sometimes he could be on the wrong side. I like both characters, and I remember when Season 1 was first coming out, I remember many saying, like, hey, what if Rita and Kaiser got together or something? I remember many were talking about that in the past. I remember seeing conversations constantly in the comments discussing that, and it seems like something like that was taking place. Any of the fans of Rita and, Kaiser probably were like, oh my god, jumping for joy for that part of the episode, because you obviously could tell from the way Rita was reacting and how she reacted once the combo was done, that she thought that Kaiser called her there, there to, out to eat and all that, was because he was going to confess his love to her or something. That's what she probably expected, because you could saw the way her face was, how she was getting very embarrassed, just the overall body language she was giving off just proved that she was expecting some form of, declare of romance or something towards her, and when she realized it wasn't really about that, you saw how she got really upset or agitated, which, obviously probably pissed her off. She was probably angry with herself, but also angry with Kaiser too, and that's why she took her aggression out on him. So I feel like one of those things were going on right there, and it's a very cute moment, but it also displays how Kaiser is finally putting his thoughts together, and he wants to say what he wants to say. He doesn't want to stand back in the shadows and be someone that's just despicable scum. He wants to actually do something about how this world is currently broken, and the Rita moment on top of that was just very nice, because Rita's always been that type of character. Even though she looks like she's a girl or whatever, a little girl, she is very old. She's ancient as hell. We know for a fact thanks to the first season, and because of that, she's always been like this mentor type character that, always seemed to be like that, even though she looks like a little girl, she's like a motherly figure to Kaiser because of how she displays herself, her persona overall, how she has all this wisdom, and seeing how, he was conveying his thoughts and all that to her, it was a good moment. It was a really good moment, and also how he came to terms with what he wanted to say, and he talked to the king like, hey, you doing what you're doing, it can't be done. Yes, humanity needs to change, but doing what you're doing, enslaving the demons, attacking the gods, the angels, all that, it's not something we should really do. You continue to do this, you're going to build up hatred, and then, different, people are going to want to get revenge, and it's just going to be it's going to be an endless cycle, and that's just the common theme that we see in a lot of different shows, but it is very true, and it holds a lot of weight, because it is very relevant, even in today's world. It's so, pretty much Kaiser's saying, you can't do this. You continue doing this, you may be fine for now, you may be fine for the next decade, but there's going to come a time to where it's going to be very bad, and you're not going to be able to stop it because of just how much hate has been building up. And that's pretty much what Kaiser's trying to say. He's like, you need to understand that you may be powerful right now, but nobody can be king forever. Nobody's always in power. And because of that, he's pretty much stating you need to do something before things get even worse than they already are. Because, if things go even more south, maybe eventually, humanity, they will be enslaved or something to the demons. Like, the demons will enslave humanity, or the gods will, or something like that might happen because of how this man is treating demons in the first place, and also the gods. So yeah, we gotta factor all this stuff in, and I just like how Kaiser confronted him about that, letting him know his honest thoughts. And the king said, I'm glad you actually said this. You're, upfront with me being honest, but at the same time, though, I will continue doing what I'm doing. Do not stand in my way. You stand in my way, I will end you. I'll put you down. So, basically, the king threatening, Kaiser, I'm fine with hearing your honest thoughts and all that, how you feel, but if you try to stand in my way, I will just crush you. You're nothing in front of me. So that's basically what happened there. And I'm just glad Kaiser stood up and said what he wanted to say. Now I'm just curious to where he's going to go. Is he going to try to get in front of the king? Or is he going to do something else on the side? Regardless, though, Azazel is the one that's really going to probably drive the plot in the upcoming episodes, using Nina most likely against her will, and also having the demons come into the town or probably take back the town or whatever. There's a lot of things that, the plot can go right now, but it's really good, and I'm just happy with what we've gotten thus far. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.